Good evening, Baccarat aficionados. I'm going to be doing something new. I'm going to be navigating live shoes. Currently, this is a live shoe. I'm going to use $2 units. I have a $52 bankroll. Banker just came out. For compliance purposes, I have the studio blacked out, or not blacked out, but whited out. So the goal is for us to do 100 shoes and show you the efficacy of the software. For those that are familiar with the software, I use a win percentage. Now this hasn't activated yet, it will in a few decisions. The rule of thumb will be that we will not start a shoe until the win percentage is at 47% or more. And there's going to be some features that will determine when we stay in a shoe and when we increase and decrease our wager. I'll be explaining it to you. I will be pausing the video when the win percentage is below the 47%, so that way these aren't long videos. I want to be able to show the viewers that prediction is not something that any individual has the ability to do. Regardless of what strategy you see out there, what software is available to you, even with counting cars, I apologize. Baccarat has over 8 trillion different outcomes. It's not even feasibly possible to determine if the next decision is going to be banker or player. If anything, it's going to be a good guess, but a 50-50 guess, or really more a 47 or 48% guess, because you still have the tie involved in it. What I'm looking to showcase is how we use multiple bet selections. Now for this example, I'm only using one bet selection. This is same, opposite, and what that means is it will go same 2 times, it'll go opposite 2 times. But just a very simplified bet selection to show you that it's, now even though this win percentage is at 100%, I'm still gonna wait for one more wager, and no, that's correct. I'm still gonna wait for one more wager. Now, as I was sharing with you, is I don't know if this bet selection is good for this or not. And if you've seen any of the previous videos, you'll know that we use multiple bet selections. So now we're at 100%. Now, had we been playing it identical, we would be around 4 units. We're using this software more as for us, or signals for us to place a wager. So we lose. We got banker again. And like I said, I don't know if this shoe will go below 47%, but if it does, I will pause the video. But as I was sharing with you, the software is designed to ride the wave. Now we're at 50%, so no wager. I have my break on at 2. After 2 losses, it will stop. It'll wait for a virtual win, and then it'll reactivate. And that's customizable. You can make it whatever you desire. Now what you're seeing is our version of the software that we do use. We are coming out with a commercial version. It's going to be a light version, but nevertheless, it's going to be a version that we will be offering to individuals that are interested in using the software. This software is designed for us to create a proof of concept. Our first win. So I'm going to reset this. We are not in profit. As you can see here, this is where it's telling you to wager. This is the profit threshold. It waits for 3 wins before it increases the wager. In this case, it's increasing it at 1 unit every 3 consecutive wins. And we're using a unit size of 2. We have another win. So it's asking us to bet player again. We're back to even. My primary focus for you all is to really focus on your money management, not attempting to guess what the next outcome is going to be. And if we stay above 50%, 66%, it just happened to be that way. Now, I do believe there are synthetic shoes. Matter of fact, I know there are synthetic shoes. I've investigated it. The casinos are legally allowed to have pre-shuffled cards that follow the odds. And because they follow the odds, they can put them in any order that they desire. That's why you see these shuffle machines and these very short boards. And I'll get into that later on. Once again, the software can navigate that. The focus really is for you to let the software use you. You are just the operator. Oh wow, missed my bet. Sorry about that. Too busy talking. So we would have won that bet, but unfortunately missed it. But that happens. As I was sharing with you, I have to make the wager first, then talk. This is just following a pattern. Same, opposite, 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 same. It will go same 2 times. If it loses, it'll switch to opposite. If it loses on opposite 2 times, it'll go back to same. There's a break, so if I lose 2 times, it will pause and it'll wait for a virtual win. So now it's asking me to increase the wager. It's not asking me, it's telling me to increase the wager. Because there was 3 consecutive wins, that's why I was able to do it. You'll see sometimes that I'll reset it because I didn't get the advantage of those 3 wins. And it'll stay at this level for another 3 wins. Now the goal is to get to a minimum of 5 units or more, which would be $10. And then I'm going to show you later on what is going to be, how we reduce our exposure. Ideally, I may reset this challenge tomorrow and use $5 units. This just so happened I had a bonus and I turned the bonus over and this was what was left over, was $52.94. So now that it lost, it's going to go back down to 2 units. Now here it shows a unit return of $10 or 5 units, I should say. So if we get to 63, 64, we will. Now the break came in, so there's no wager. Once we get to 63 or $64, I'll explain to you how we'll move forward. We got some YouTube playing in the background. See if we can find something a little bit more uplifting. So player. Oh, I missed the wager, I apologize. I gotta reset. We would have won that. I missed the wager. Happens. Busy doing other things. So once again, we're just using a very basic bet selection, and it just so happened to be profiting. This is looking at 6 units. We're at $12. Also, on the other hand, we have missed 2 bets, or 2 wagers, I should say. And we will do 3 because it's 3 wins in a row. This bet selection is performing a little bit better than 70%. So this will stay at 3 until it loses. I apologize. Until it wins 3 in a row. This happens to be a long chop. This will increase from 3 to 4 to 5. And you can customize this to whatever amount that you desire. One thing about using software and even whiting out the board, from our experience, it removes a lot of the emotions that you have. Seeing the cards, anticipating, and being disappointed. And that's one of the reasons why I designed the software, about the participant to have to think where they needed to wager. I designed, you're just the operator. The software is using you. You're not using it. And we've had some really incredible, we don't win all our sessions, but we've had some really good sessions. Now I'm going to reduce my bet to 1 because I now have secured 5 units. I lost on that. Oops. And actually, I shouldn't have. Oh, no, I should have played player. No, I shouldn't have. Should have played banker. Which is fine. The more videos I do, the more fluid I'll be. More comfortable. I may restart this challenge or journey. It's not a challenge. A journey starting at $5 units. That would be a better example to show you the efficacy, the efficacy of the software. Because what would normally happen is well, I'll just show you tomorrow. We'll just continue as such. I reduced the unit from 2 to 1. And that's to preserve your profits. And with the upcoming software, there will be something called lock in your profits. It's a really nice feature. We focus on money management, and when the conditions are right, doesn't mean they're going to be right, they just look right, we will enter the shoe. And when they're not right, and this dips below 50% or less, we're out of the shoe. The break's going to come on. And now the bet selection is going to change. It's now going to go banker. It's 2 bankers in a row, 1. This has a nice return. This is sitting over 10 units. But if this shoe goes south, this profit will be reduced. But with the up and coming software, it'll be done automatically and your wager will decrease, but only after you get your lock-in profit, only after you get the lock-in profit. Now that we lost 2 in a row, it is going to go into a break status. I'm not certain for all, but Baccarat is an extraordinarily boring game, but it is extremely profitable when it wants to be. So you could see, oops. Because it's losing, we're not getting into the shoe. It's getting more spotty. A couple of good runs in the beginning. Now we're going to re-enter. This software is designed to play the entire shoe. There is moments where you're not going to be placing a wager because the conditions just aren't advantageous for you. You're going to have shoes where you're never going to make a wager because the bet selection just is not appropriate for that particular shoe. Now, for those that have watched some of my videos, I have the ability to play 12 different bet selections simultaneously. And with the new commercial version of the software coming out, there's going to be some added features that are going to make that even more attractive, less exposure. So as you can see, swing percentage is dropping. As the swing percentage drops, so does the return. Well, we're going to be able to fix that in the future once you get your desired profit. And there's no need to stop at any particular hand. And there's no need to really start at any. I would encourage you to start at near the beginning of a shoe, if feasible. It's not a necessity, but we look at Bach as an infinite game. I know the house edge is talked about, and God forbid you say that you have a profitable strategy or software. The protectors come out and tell you about the house's edge. And I'm not certain if everyone knows how the house edge is created, but it's based off of you using a flat bet continuously, playing one decision continuously. That's the house edge. But there's ways of creating variances and avoiding unwinnable shoes. And because you can use multiple bet selections simultaneously, you have the ability to have up to 12 players, and in the future more, at one table, but only the bet selections that are winning or being profitable are the ones that are active. And for this example, I'm only using one bet selection because I want to show you the simplicity of it. As you can see with the setup, once again, it really minimizes your emotions. When our team gets together, we all do this, and it just keeps everyone calm. We don't know what's happening. See that shoe that dealer is dealing from? It already has its winners. It has all the winners. You're just deciding which side is winning. There's nothing that can change that. Nothing at all. Except obviously a dealer making a mistake. And that might change some of the outcome of play. So if you were to play this shoe identical right now, you would be at 26 units. The issue with what you're seeing here is the presumption that this shoe is going to continue to be this SSOO, like it's going to continue to adapt to it. And we have learned so much with this software and what not to expect versus what to expect. And what not to expect is consistency. We can go 2-3 shoes without ever making a wager, but in turn we saved ourselves dozens of units. And then there's shoes that we go in and we make 30, 40, 50 units sometimes. You're just waiting for the condition to catch up with your bet selection. That's what you're doing. So right now I'm at around a $13 profit, I believe, with the wager on the table. Emotions, very challenging. I've been there, my team's been there. But with this new setup, does it ever work? So we got the brake on. This is still doing well. Oh, I'm missing a hand. I'm missing a couple of hands somewhere. Oh no, I'm not. Hold on, 30. I'm missing a banker somewhere. I'll have to go back. It's fine. Because you can see here, there's 21 players and 29 bankers. I have 22 players and 30 bankers. I don't know where that came from. That's where am I? Where is it at? Banker, banker, player, banker, player, banker. Got that? Let's count that. That's one. Well, we count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's where I messed up at. Let me fix that. Right now it's a no bet for us, so we're fine. And once again, it's okay. You're going to miss some opportunities, but there'll be more. We should be good. At 30, 21. Now it's active. 30 to 1. That would have been a loss. Oh, got to get in though. Player, one unit. Sorry about that, guys and girls, and days and. The software also has a tie feature in it as well. I have a video on that. The new version of the software is going to have pairs on it as well. A pair feature. And I'll explain why later on. I'd like to hear what some of you all think about synthetic shoes. And my thought on predicting the outcome of a shoe. I've been involved in Baccarat since 2015. This has been a 10-year, almost 10 years process. There's going to be some interesting features going to come out with this new version of the software. For those that are looking to make a profit, a return on their money, this is going to be something very attractive. We're still up about 6 units or $12. And had we started at the $5 unit, we would have been reducing our bet based on a tier scale of where the percentage is. It would be more like 5 to 1, meaning once we locked in a profit, and we were at a 50 to 60% threshold, our wager would be 1 unit. If we were at a 61 to 70% threshold, our wager would be 2 units. If we were at 71% to 80%, we would be at 3 units. If we were at 81% to say 85 or 86, we would be at 4 units, and anything over 86, we would be at the full game unit, but only after we locked in our profit. You'd be amazed how much you can make just making 5 units per shoe. And what happens is, as we go up every 50 units, when this goes from 50 to 150, we would go up another unit. Look, wow, look at that, another 30 to 1, 2 shoes. What just happened, this is actually my very first shoe. I attempted to do a video last night, but I was unable to get into the shoe. The shoe just was not a winnable shoe. So you see, I reduced to 1 unit. So this may just be a test video, not a test video, but an introductory, but it's a high probability that I will return with $5 units to show you how the software should be used. This isn't a good example, but like I said earlier, there was a bonus. As you can see, it's dipping down to 61%, and as the win percentage goes down, so will the return, which would be here and here. So now we're at 60%. I can't go any lower than 1 unit. There's 70 hands left. I'm going to continue to play until the red card comes out. I'm certain it should be coming out, or the cut card, I should say, should be coming out pretty soon. It's not too far. Oops, sorry about that. Can't see there you go. $37 banker, 26 player. Players activated. It's player 1, so we're going to go ahead and place a wager on player. Oops, and the shoe. Well, that was pretty cool. That's basically it. It's not a very eloquent video. I hadn't anticipated speaking this long, but if you do take a look at the video, please feel free to leave comments. I appreciate the opportunity to share this with you. And I definitely will be back. Like I said, we're going to be doing a 100 shoe journey. I'm certain my videos are going to get better. And that's it. Thanks for your time.